I'm just here to give extra commentary. No, I'm gonna go. Have fun.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm gonna. But what for? I'll just chat it.
Just to make the session much longer. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, you could.
it's
Yeah,
cool.
it would be. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, by the way, do I keep since you gave me like the urchin background, do I also get the items? Oh, oh there. Young Sinar.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
you're live.
yes. We must
Well, I
stop
guess
with the
I'm here
French
now.
accents. We need
But
to
why
stop
must we stop?
because Alcida is gonna get canceled
What?
if we keep doing the French. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
Oh no. Let's hope they do not watch whatever we are doing.
French slander.
Basically, yes.
Oh no.
City map of the Bentley Home. Family trinket. Small knife. Does my small knife act like a dagger or is it different? Oh,
Is a knife. Oh.
ah, or a butter knife.
Oh.
Hmm. What is my family trinket? I to be fair, the only remembrance of my family is that they left me.
It's sad.
That's enough remembrance enough. I don't need to be reminded of that.
Aw.
The
What
trauma
did
they
they
have put
leave?
me
What
through
did they
is
leave with you though?
what?
You like a family trinket. They left you behind, but with something.
Yeah, trauma.
My trinket is trauma.
Yeah. Maybe the trinket is the trauma we made along the way.
No.
Yes. Yes. For now, we shall do more French accents.
No.
I read somewhere, I think, in the DMG that if you're in a domain of dread, it's optional for like the DM to put some sort of side effect if you stay there for long.
Ooh.
Are you gonna implement that? Oh
Ah.
no.
Oh, pretty splash art.
Well, that's fair. Trauma.
Yes, but it's probably something else, right?
No. Yeah, that's true. My sorcery powers.
Oh no, spoilers. Nah.
Are
It's
you?
also trauma.
Yes. Wait,
Who's this girl?
is my HP also determined by my con stat? Oh, but it's not added by my constitution here. Okay.
Don't worry, you'll survive because you're
I
still
have
alive
4
today.
HP.
Oh my gosh. You could be one hit.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you survive that?
Hi, Izu. We are
Oh,
totally not doing anything sus.
Izu, hi.
Yeah. Okay. Mm,
I mean, I'm here anyways.
sure. Yeah, we could.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, uh, are you being heard on stream? Asking. I think the mic thing.
Oh,
Imagine we go through the 2 hours. Or it's
you
just me
just can't
speaking.
hear. I mean, at least they're immersed in
Test.
the character.
Oh, yes, now my head's moving. Wonderful.
Yay!
No more
Cool.
stiff neck.
Right. So,
Yes.
the story starts off with young Cyrus alone on the streets of the Mendu. It's a cold winter night, and Cyrus is more or less shivering in a corner. This is when a tall, dark gentleman walks up to you, Cyrus, and goes, "Are you alone? Is there no adult to care?"
Uh, I I have no idea where my parents are. I am alone. I'm not sure what to do.
So you feel this man has a strong aura about him. Can you give me a charisma saving throw?
Oh,
Oh,
I'm going to die. Charisma saving throw. Ever 22.
Okay, so
hmm.
uh, you at the time you didn't notice this, but now that oh wait, if you're narrating it, then I guess you. If
Yeah.
you're telling the story, then it doesn't matter. Yeah. So uh, my brain's not handling this very well. Yeah. So yes. So it's this tall, dark gentleman with a strong personality, like a strong aura about him. You feel like um you're compelled to talk to him.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and I suppose you haven't had anything to eat, have you?
No, sir. I haven't eaten at
Uh,
all.
so he turns his head slightly to the left at seemingly no one, and then you see a move. Can you give me a perception check?
Perception.
Okay, you see shifts in the shadows, but you don't exactly see anyone moving around nearby. Well, there's people moving around on the street, but they don't seem to be the ones causing the shifts in the shadows. Um, and so uh, a brief moment later, he pulls out from what appears to be the shadows a loaf of bread and passes it to you.
Whoa, magic.
Oh,
And as you take the bread, you feel that the bread is actually very warm and comforting as well.
oh, thank you, kind sir.
Uh, you hear the sound of fluttering, and it and he hears it as well. So you see him tilt his head upwards, and he goes, "It seems it's about that time." And you see a whole shower of flyers and pamphlets coming down from the sky. There are these flyers of in beautiful red and white and orange and yellow design of those carnival stripes, and on the flyer it says, "The carnival is coming to town." Some of the flyers even sort of like as they flutter down, they attach themselves to the walls as if they are plastering themselves on the walls.
Hmm.
He reaches up, catches one of the flyers in his hands, looks at it, looks over to you, passes it to you, and says, I think it would be a great experience for you if you were to take a look at this carnival. He turns over to a woman nearby, and he goes, "You there. This child here is in need of some finances for his well being. Perhaps you'd be willing to spare some change." And the you see the woman, she looks like she's frozen stiff from the encounter. She looks like she struggles for a bit, and then a sort of calm washes over her face, and she goes, "Oh yes, definitely. This poor child." And she reaches into her pockets and takes out an entire coin pouch and passes it to you. In the coin pouch, uh, three silver pieces and eight copper pieces.
Oh, thank you kindly, young miss.
She doesn't look at you, and her eyes remain fixated on the gentleman. And she goes,
It's a robbery.
"Is
Oh,
is is there anything else?" Um, and he goes, "There's nothing else. Well, perhaps you and I could go somewhere later, and I'll thank you for it."
yeah.
And then he turns to you. "If there's nothing else, there is one more thing. If an old acquaintance of mine runs the carnival, if you do get to meet her, tell her the caller sends his regards."
I will do that. Thank you again. I will never forget this. And then I guess I'm going to the carnival now.
So the
Do I know
carnival
where
hasn't
you?
reached yet, but as you say that, he smirks. He smirks, and,
Yeah.
and, and you can see sort of like very sharp teeth peek out from his smirk. And then he walks away
Oh,
with the lady, never to be seen again. Um, you would have to wait till the next day for the and yeah. So
yep.
so so essentially, you spend the rest of the. Is there anything else you want to do on the streets with your freshly baked loaf of bread? If not, we'll move on to the
Uh,
next day.
honestly, I don't think I can do anything else other than just eat the bread.
Yeah, that's fair. So as you rouse in the morning the next day, you hear the sounds of excitement as people on the streets appear to be flocking somewhere new. And you've lived in Demandlu for a large part of your life. It's like the outskirts of the city has never changed, but as you approach together with the rest of the crowd, where the rest of where the crowd seems to be going, um, you notice something new. Uh, Tents have set themselves up. Tents have set themselves up on the outskirts of the city, and there there appears to be music and carnival music going on. There's people laughing, cheering. There are shops going around, um, and and yeah, there is a ticket booth at the entrance. Um, and you know what? Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana 16.
Okay, you notice that as people approach it, holding a flyer in their hands, um, the fog seems to part ever so slightly to allow them through to the carnival.
Hmm.
Okay, where is the carnival?
Ooh,
Whoa,
this is very different.
different.
Yeah.
It seems less safer than it was.
Yeah.
The distant sounds of eerie music begin to echo through the swirling fog. Lights flicker to life in the mist, illuminating a narrow path and stretches before you. Gradually the fog recedes, and you hear the sounds of screaming and laughter mingled together as the carnival blurs into focus out of the fog. Flickering campfires drive away the chilling cold of the Shadowfell, illuminating garishingly colored tents and caravans. The carnival is. Oh, I shouldn't be reading that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna be entering through the ticket booth.
Yeah. A blood red tent rises from the mists. Oh, the warm glow of candlelight emanating all from within. At the ticket booth, a handsome young man looks up at you. Growing out of his neck is a small, fleshy, twisted creature that seems grafted to his skin. He smiles at you. Greetings to you, young man. We welcome you to the carnival. I am Claude Rivel, and if you would like a ticket, that'll be 3 copper coins.
Oh, here you go. And I give him the 3 copper coins that he mentions.
He takes it, and then he pulls out a beautifully colored red and white ticket and hands it to you.
Thank you.
Please enjoy your stay at the carnival. The ticket is merely for entrance, however, so do take note that if you wish to use some of the other attractions, those will cost money as well. I hope you have a
Okay.
great time here.
And then I bow towards him. And then I enter into the carnival. What do I see as I enter?
Well, you see the signs. I mean, you see what you see on the map. But you can let me know if there's anything that seems to interest you, and I'll tell you what the text says.
I think I want to check out, what is this? Isitwick Market?
Litwick Market.
Ah,
I think there was one more thing that I was supposed to say first, but I have.
that's okay.
Oh, yes, there is one more thing.
Yep.
You see a man. He's wearing a top hat. And he goes, "Welcome, welcome, young man. I am Tyndall, and I promote the attractions. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask me any questions. And if you notice some of the deformities we have around here, don't worry. Those do not have permanent effects. Those are like there are no short-term impacts on you. It only gradually affects us for those who have stayed a very long time. Tyndall, as in Tindal. He's dressed in a dapper black suit and a top hat.
Hmm. Uh, I I ask him what's over there, and I point towards Litwick Market.
Ah, well, the Lidwood Market isn't exactly part of the carnival, but they do follow us around. If you'd like, he sort of glances down at your little coin pouch and he goes, chances are you wouldn't be able to afford the things at the Lidwood Market unless you offer something else of value in return.
Cynaris looks puzzled, and he says, "What do you mean? Like what?"
Uh, well, it's rather hard to explain. I believe you'll soon get your answers if you look at the wares at the Lidwood Market. In general, what they have there is what they're looking. Would give you a sense of what they're looking for in return.
All right. And then, I guess I go towards the Litwick Market just because I wanted to see what was over there, and probably don't plan on purchasing anything.
So at the Lidwood Market, a chaos of colorful tents, barking vendors, and strange goods changing hands assault your eyes and ears as you wander through the Lidwood Market, where practically anything and everything can be bought and sold.
Weird. Um. Hmm.
So you don't really recognize what you see, but it appears that like they're selling all sorts of magical items. Some really rare and some even some rare, some very rare. Some of them not even things that you've seen or heard of.
Oh.
Is there a kaboom one?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I guess Cynaris just looks at all of the magic items in awe, but he isn't really tempted to steal anything. I don't think he's that type of person. He just
Uh,
stares and watches how people use these items, I guess.
yeah. You as he stares and watches, you see one of them. There's a man that looks like he's interested in an item. He's talking to the stall owner, and at some point, they shake hands in agreement, and you can see his shadow sort of detaches itself from his body and gets sucked into a bottle.
Oh, well, I'll make sure not to get that one, whatever it is. Um, hmm.
And then you also note among the stalls here, there is also one that looks like a hot air balloon. Ex, I don't even know if you it's a
Yeah.
basket with ropes tied to what appears to be a trapped storm cloud.
Ooh.
And at the front of the basket is what's been set up to look like a shop front.
Hmm. I guess Sinus just leisurely goes throughout the market and then eventually leaves and tries to look for something
Okay.
else. Um I think he'd want to go to the fortune teller next.
Oh wait, what? For what? Fortune. Oh, the PDF is not giving me the fortune teller.
Oh no.
Oh, it's because it's one word. I searched two words. Okay. That's not the fortune teller. Oh, there we go. The scent of incense drifts from the open door of a beautifully ornate wagon. Through a gap in the curtains, you see an ancient woman huddled over a softly glowing crystal ball. She looks up at you, and you see that her eyes are pure black pools. She smiles a wrinkly grin and beckons you to come inside.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will go inside.
Greetings, young one. I am Madame Fortuna, a matriarch of the Vistani that live and work here. Come, what future would you like to be told?
Uh, I would like to know about the dangers my future holds.
Um, she sort of like unfurls her gnarly hands and gestures to you. One silver coin, please. Um, Hang on, let me just check the spell to see if she can actually answer that question.
Okay. How much did I get from the woman again? Just to make sure.
Uh, 3 silver coins and 8 copper coins.
Okay.
So you spent 3 copper so far. Plus
Yes.
1 silver for this woman.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, she sort of looks into. She sort of swirls her fingers around the glass and the crystal ball and uh and sort of there's a swirl of silvery and dark clouds inside there, and they look like they're intertwined in some ways. And she goes, I see will and woe for your future.
Ooh. And then Cynaris peers into the orb more intensely, trying to see what he can get from the orb.
Uh yeah, and then you don't really see anything else besides uh like in the silver clouds there's a flicker of pink and yellow, but in the dark clouds there's streaks of red, of blood red, um and parts of the clouds looks like it's just missing existence as well, but that's all you see. And she pulls her hands away from the crystal balls, and that's all there is to it. Would you like another future told?
Feels like a scam. She didn't tell me anything concrete. Um, hmm.
If you would like a more detailed one, perhaps you could trade something else of more value.
What did you have in mind?
Perhaps the twinkle in your toes. How does that sound?
He's incredibly vague. I don't even know what that means.
Do you even have twinkle in your toes?
Or perhaps you could also offer the shine in your eyes.
I think Cynaris would think on this for a moment, and he would probably think this might be a bad deal. So he says, "No thanks. Maybe uh some other time then."
And she nods and goes, the future is always a mystery, but if you'd like some certainty, I am here to offer them.
I'll make sure to remember that. And then Cynaris sort of scurries off before anything suspicious could happen. Hmm. Where would Cynaris go next? Probably um he'd probably check out Mister? What the question marked one?
Mr. Question Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Huh.
where's my PDF? Hmm. A beautiful wagon has been converted into a theatre, with ornate curtains drawn across its stage, and an eager audience seated in the stalls. As you watch the lights come on, the curtains draw back, and a man in a suit and blank white mask with a question mark on it steps out from the wings. He reaches up to the mask, pulls it to the side, and as the audience gasps, his entire head is a smooth white orb with no facial features at all.
Mm.
Ooh.
Um, uh, and you see the dapper man earlier uh, walks up and he goes, "Behold, the incredible faceless man, skin smooth as silk, devoid as a desert, no personality or features to speak of, a purely blank canvas. But watch and be amazed as he transforms into the most charming and charismatic man ever to walk the mists." And this is where Tyndall puts his hat onto Mr. Question Mark, who then immediately transforms into a perfect copy of him, dapper suit and all. And he puts on Tyndall's personality as well. And the two of them dance and bow until the original Tyndall takes his top hat back.
Ooh.
Were you saying something?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
This makes me laugh because like there was like the most charming person and it turns into himself.
Yeah.
Does he accept volunteers?
Yeah, so
Other people.
So yeah, this is where Tyndall calls upon the audience who is willing to come and experience it for yourself. And you volunteer, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Is it paid for?
Yeah, that's what that's what I want to ask. Is it paid for?
It's not paid for. As in, like, it's not something you have to pay for. It's just
Okay.
you'll be part of the entertainment.
Ooh.
Sure. Yeah, and I'll go up the stage.
Oh, we have a courageous young volunteer. Come now. Essentially what you need to do is you need to take out something like an article or clothing or something that is strongly attached to someone. And then as long as Mr. Question Mark is touching it, he can transform into that person.
So a piece of clothing or something attached to me?
As in like so if you did have a trinket if you have a trinket as a memento of your parents, then you could use that for him to transform into your parents.
Oh.
So you can get more trauma.
Oh no. Sure, I want to see how my parents look like so that I can look them in the eye one day and tell them how successful I have been.
But
So I give them whatever my family trinket is.
it sounds like something that could make Cynaris cry.
Maybe. Who knows?
Wonderful. I have not prepared for this. So Mr. Question Mark ever so smoothly picks the trinket up from you. And you see a sort of ripple in his flesh stemming from his hand all the way to his body as he transforms into another tiefling. And you see this tiefling woman, and she's got a cold look in her eyes. She looks down at you. and then that's when and you can see tears welling up in her eyes, but she doesn't say anything. She maintains this cold, harsh look, but at the same time, she's got tears in her eyes. Thanks for the rate, Shiny.
Hi, Shiny. Uh,
Mm.
hmm. I think I would look very puzzled because I don't think Cynaris has ever seen his parents before.
It's your
And
first
like,
time.
yeah, and like he probably would circle around Mr. Question Mark uh and try to get a glimpse of how his mother would look like, even more detailed.
Yeah.
Does your mother have like some resemblance to you, or like the other way around?
No.
I think in terms of resemblance, they this is a mildly racist thing to say, but they are both Mephistopheles tieflings. So they've
Yeah.
got similar scale appearance and skin tones. Her horns are actually much larger than yours.
Ooh.
And she's wearing this power suit. This power suit that you see in people working in politics and all that. So it's got like very sharp shoulder blades on her blazer. Um, and she looks like she is someone very important.
Ooh. Hmm. And then I go to Mr. Question Mark and give a gesture of handing back the trinket because and then I say thank you to him.
And before he returns it to you, he goes, um, in our line of work, we do not say thank you. We show it with equal trade. And then he returns the trinket back to you and transforms back into himself.
Oh,
Uh
this is
No,
pretty
no,
more.
no. But he was saying it in your mother's personality with her memories.
oh.
Oh, she seems like a businesswoman. Okay. And I thank him again and then I walk off the stage.
Yeah. And then and then yeah, Tino goes, well, let's give the young boy a round of applause. Now, is there anyone else who would like to uh, take a look into their past, take a glimpse, or just have fun with yourself? Do you want to stay or do you want to explore around?
I think he would want to explore more of what this place has to offer. I think he'd be curious about what an organ grinder would be.
Oh no.
Okay, so you leave the tent and you head towards the organ grinder. Uh, as you approach it, the sound of the carnival music gets louder. So jaunty yet haunting music pours out of a large, elaborate metal contraption that appears to be a cross between a steam engine and a pipe organ. A singular man sits beside it, slowly cranking a handle to power the machine, as swarms of unusual cat-like creatures dance and play out of time to its tune. Um,
Oh, that
the
kind of organ.
yeah, yeah. The man has like swirling face paint on his face. Is like you can see that the face paint is actually moving. Um,
Ooh,
yeah. And it's a swarm of Grimishkas, which I have not imported the stat block yet, so I'll need to Google it.
Grimish?
Grimishka. You know what? I will search it on the captured screen, and then everyone can see it.
Okay. Go.
Yep. Just a
Oh,
thing of nightmares for everyone watching.
it's a hairless
Ooh.
cat.
With
Yes.
very, very sharp teeth that will
That's.
rip your
Oh,
flesh from your bones.
I guess it really is an organ grinder.
yeah. I think Cyrus would be a bit scared of those things and then takes a few steps back, but he still watches.
Okay. As some of them, one of them runs up, dances, and sort of like it dances its way towards you. At which point, it sort of sneezes a little, and then it quickly jumps away from you.
Oh. Uh, uh, hmm. I guess there's not much I could do here except listen to the music. So I shall go elsewhere.
Hmm.
Hmm. I think maybe he would uh sneak a peek at Hall of Horrors just to see what's in it. But he's hesitant to go in because of the title.
Okay. Before you even approach it, right? You see a man stumbling out of the Hall of Horrors, and he immediately starts vomiting on the ground.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Let me just get to the right section. Hello. Okay. Yeah. Uh, and then from within you hear a reedy voice call out saying, "I warned you. I warned you. It is not for the faint of heart." And an elderly, bespectacled man with a walking cane strolls calmly out into the night and looks at you. "What about you? You look like a brave young man. Perhaps you have the stomach for the Hall of Horrors."
Hmm.
And you sort of glance through the flaps, and you see like these what looks like containers, and then trapped within the containers are sleeping monstrosities.
Ooh. Hmm. He goes towards the man and says, are those things safe? And he points towards the container they're in.
Oh yes, yes, they are very safe. In fact, they are my very own creations. As far as I know, and as far as my engineering tells me, um, my these pickled punks of mine aren't escaping anytime soon, and even if they do, they're not going to go on a rampage.
Hmm.
You'll be perfectly safe just going in and taking a look around.
Hmm. Sarnaris thinks for a moment, and since he's had a rough uh start of his life so far, he would think he wouldn't be scared of most things by now, maybe. So he says, "Sure, I would like to go in," and he huffs his chest out
Yeah.
pretty proudly.
So when you go in, you see like there's let me change the scene. Um, come on.
Always
Uh,
looking for trauma.
Yes.
where is it? Is it not here? It should be here. There it is. Where is it? Mixed up. There. Activate.
Ooh.
So as you go in, you see like these containers of different twisted transformations of people. There's there looks like a person with tentacles spilling out, or a lobster of sorts that with very sharp claws.
Oh. Um. I go towards one of the containers at the beginning. and stare into it.
So as you're staring into it, you see sort of like a twitch behind the eyelid.
Mm.
And then and then the whole body jerks a little, and then the eyes open up and stares right back at you.
Uh, I say hi to whatever is looking at me and try to poke the glass or the container.
Please do not tap on the glass.
You hear a as it as it slams its hand against the glass. It slams its hand against the glass and starts knocking against the glass. And Professor Pakali comes up to you and goes, now, there is no need to throw a tantrum. He knocks against the glass. Off back to sleep with you. And then the monstrosity just calms down again and it goes back into its fetal sleeping position.
Oh, how did you do that? Cynaris asked the guy.
Let's just say these pickled punks of mine are just extensions of myself. I know very much how they think and why they came about, and as such, they listen to me. But that's none of your concern. Just take a look around, see what you see, and see if you see anything else of interest.
What's over here? To the upper left corner, with the carpet and things.
Uh,
This one.
yes. So he has a PDF. I saw this. So there are several display cabinets filled with macabre curiosities and ancient tomes. And then in the bottom right hand corner, there's also a giant ornate mirror.
Ooh.
If you want to look at the cabinets closely, I can tell you what you find.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna hope that it's in this PDF. If not, then I might need to actually search. Oh boy. Yep. I will need to find the actual other source that contains this. Give
No.
me a moment. Un momento, s'il vous plaît.
You should do it in French.
Un moment, s'il vous plaît. That's not a table. Okay, I guess I'll just have to use the Gothic tables. Yeah, roll me a D100.
Oh, okay. 1d100. 76.
76. It's a small mirror, and as you pick it up, it shows you a much older version of yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, he appears to
Like
be
a
wearing a carnival uniform of sorts.
Oh. I look very puzzled and ask if I asked the man who runs this place, can I keep this?
Keep this. Well, I I suppose if you want that, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll a d2.
Okay. Because this seems fitting because my Feywild trinket is a mirror.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's going to say, what that old thing? Yeah, take it. I have no use for that sort of nonsense. I bought it off a peddler once, and it turns out to be a complete waste of money.
Is
Oh.
that what made you like choose to work at the Hall of Illusions?
We could say that, yeah. I don't know. We were just making it up as we go.
It fits though.
I sort of wave the mirror at him and say thank you, and I put it in whatever bag I have. You mentioned a mirror here somewhere.
Yeah, it's at the bottom right.
Okay. I'm gonna go to that. I'm curious of what it is.
So, yeah, it's a giant ornate mirror, and you can see like the you can see it reflecting this room. It reflects yourself and the crowds in the room.
Oh. Hmm. So there's nothing odd about this mirror.
Do you wanna give me an investigation check?
Sure. Investigation.
Yeah, you would have almost missed it, but when you looked at it very closely, you realized there is a man. There is a man standing in the mirror, staring at you. But when you turn around, there's no one there.
Oh. I think he would try to interact with the person in the mirror and say, "Hello, are you real?"
So Professor Pakali at this point notices that you're trying to talk to the mirror. So he's going to come up to you and, my, you are a perceptive young boy, aren't you? Perhaps you'd be, perhaps if you were much older, you'd be of interesting. We could have some partnership of sorts, but at the moment, perhaps this is not the place for you. And then he starts ushering you out of his tent.
Oh,
Perhaps
what
come back when you're older.
could you at least tell me what it was?
That would be an acquaintance of mine. Nothing of concern of sorts. The thing that you do notice is about the person is that he looks very similar to Tyndall, except
Oh.
without a friendly appearance.
Oh no. Huh. Okay. I guess since he's ushering me out, I guess I can't go back in.
Yeah.
Okay. I shall go to the other attractions of this carnival. It's very odd though. Tyndall. I think maybe next I'd go to the lock boxes.
Hmm.
I have no idea what that is.
So the lock boxes are these massive cages. Sorry, lots of gas. Even from a distance, you smell the scent of blood and wet fur, and hear the rattling of metal chains as you round the corner. You see a pale vampire shackled to a giant stake buried in the ground. Her blood-stained mouth opens wide as she wails. tremble in terror at the sight of these terrifying terrors. Even I, a real vampire, am frightened to lead you through this maze of terror.
So much terror.
Yeah. Are you okay? Like because you said there's like a stake. They've been run through by a stake or something.
No. She's chained to a stake, and she goes, "Oh yes, these chains are no match for me." And she sort of like swing her hands and pulls them out of the chains, and she goes, "For you see, I am a terrifying vampire." And she sort of jumps off the stake and glides down as she unfolds her bat wings and glides down towards you. Come, I'll take you a tour around all the um, uh, terrifying monsters we have locked here.
Oh, sure. I would like to see these things.
Cyrus has a stomach for monsters.
Yes.
Yeah, so the first locked box that she brings you to contains an otiak, which I have no idea what it looks like either.
Oh,
It
that's
is
okay.
a thing with a jaw and tentacles.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a strange aberration, and um, it it sends you waves of hunger, like as you approach it, you get the sense of hunger, um, but like ravenous hunger, like it really wants to eat something. Um, and it's like you feel like you want to eat something, but at the same time, it's not you. It's coming from the otium.
Oh. Huh. Man, this is making Cyrus hungry. um. Hmm. And are there any other monsters that I see?
Yeah. So she brings you to the next cage. This is um a hook horror hangs from the roof of its cage by its hooks. It's oops. Do not look at the top part. But it's this thing at the bottom left. Um.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whoa.
It strikes its hooks against the bars of the cage repeatedly. It looks like it's lashing out at you, but you can't tell.
Uh, I I sort of step away from the cage or the box. And I asked the vampire lady if this is safe.
Yes. Terrifying as this might look, this is the cages are perfectly safe. Do you
Hmm.
want to do a nature check or just assume that?
Sure.
Okay.
Nature 3.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, this thing just wants to attack you.
Okay. Hmm. I tell the lady maybe we could look at something else. I don't think this one likes me particularly well.
So you move over to the next cage, and um, you see in this cage is a seemingly innocuous treasure chest, with a plaque on the top that says "Open me." And
Oh no.
Amelia says, Do not be deceived. By the way, this is a mimic. You do not want to be opening a dangerous chest like this."
Oh. Um w- is it particularly harmful?
Oh yes, there are many tales of adventurers who would encounter these monsters while dungeon delving. You go up to a dead end, you see an innocuous chest, and you're like, oh, treasure, not guarded by anything. And you open it up, your hands get stuck. Its jaws open wide, its tongue pulls you inside, and it just chomps down on you. Yeah.
I can see why many would assume this to be very dangerous. Could it be something other than a chest? Can it mimic other things?
But suppose I'm not sure, but it would be very terrifying indeed if they could.
Hmm.
One of the cages there is a mimic.
The cage itself is a
Yeah, the
mimic.
cage itself was a mimic.
And then as you say that, she pauses for a moment, uncomfortably looks behind her, and you see her just sort of like take awkward side steps away from the cage as well.
I think this is giving this particular monster will just give us paranoia of everything. So we should probably move on, Miss Vampire.
Yes, indeed. For your safety, we should move on. Uh, so a death dog chews on bones in the next cage. Let's see if I can get a picture of a death dog. It's a very big and
Oh,
picture.
Ooh,
Where's the picture? There it is.
kind of like
discount Cerberus.
yeah.
I guess the two-headed dog. And it's chewing on bones in the next cage. Amelia says, "This here, these bones here are the remains of the last group that toured through the lockboxes."
Ah,
Oh, oh no. Uh, I sort of step farther away from the cage, uh, and probably wouldn't interact with it because he doesn't want to die. So he holds the hand of the vampire lady and then just moves on. He just
Yeah.
drags her.
A feral howl tears through the darkness as a cage ahead shakes with the impact of something powerful. A tattered banner reading "The Hideous Man Beast" hangs on an angle from its final cage. As twin points of light reflect in the eyes of a true predator, uh, as twin points of light reflected in the eyes of a true predator turns to stare at you from the shadows within. Um, this whole time, Amelia's hand has been her hand had actually been warm for a vampire as you were holding her hand.
Oh.
But this is as you approach this cage, you feel like her palm sweats a little, and uh, you get the sense that she herself is a little uncomfortable approaching this cage as well.
I ask her if she's okay.
And she goes, yes, I'm perfectly fine. Um, it's, uh, I'm these cages can be quite terrifying sometimes. Um, so inside this cage is a were tiger.
Oh.
So what you see is a tiger, and she goes, what we have here is Raja Singh. He's a gentleman. When he's a gentleman, it's there's a peculiar curse cast upon him. Every full moon, he transforms into quite the gentleman. But otherwise, he is quite ravenous. And
Oh.
yeah,
Um. Is there any way? Have any of you tried removing the curse?
Well, if any of us knew the had the ability to remove curse, we might try. But uh, unfortunately, none of us do.
Hmm.
Hard to come by someone who's actually able to remove curses in a place like this. And she sort of waves towards the general direction of all the fog around. Um,
Oh.
and as she does that, you also get a sense of you also recognize what she means. By the way, do you think young Cyrus would have ever attempted to leave the city?
Um, I would think so. Yeah. In case, like, I don't think he'd want to stay there. He'd want to adventure out and probably seek fortune or something.
Okay, in that case, I'll tell you that when young Cyrus tried to do that, what he actually encountered was that he walked in the fog for a long period of time, and when the fog finally cleared, he found himself standing in front of Demendu again, exactly at the spot that he tried to leave.
Oh,
Ah,
so you can't leave? Hmm. I see what you mean as I point to the vampire lady. I hope one day I could meet this gentleman and have a proper conversation with him, maybe.
Hmm.
Hmm. Is there anything else here in the lockboxes?
No, that's it.
Okay. I thank the vampire lady for guiding me through and saying I might have gotten into an accident if for her.
And she goes, like as you both walk away from the final cage, she goes, "I'm sure you'll be perfectly fine." Although yes, these cages are quite terrifying, aren't they? And as you're leaving, she goes, "By the way, if you find any adventurers, be sure to send them my way."
Definitely will. And then go I go beyond the lockboxes. Hmm. I think I can go into Big Top next since it's next to it and he's curious about what it is.
It's funny you should say that because there is supposed to be a timed event, I think, going on. Uh,
Oh,
uh,
have we been keeping track of time?
I mean, I'm constantly looking at the hour because the session ends exactly at 12.
Yep.
Uh, I think there is, but I'm not sure. Yes. So, there isn't timed events, but yeah, as you approach the big top, rising out of the carnival center is a colossal red tent. From within, you hear the sounds of shrieking, screaming, and laughing. Um, I have the map of Big Top, but I forgot to block out a certain part of it. So I will. Is this the right Big Top? That's the right Big Top. Okay.
ooh, it looks different.
Ooh.
I'll drop you down. I'll drop your character down, and then just basically ignore the presence of the part behind the stage,
Yep.
the part behind the curtains.
Hmm.
So you take a seat in the crowd. Do you take a seat in the crowds?
Yeah, I I want to see what's going on, but I'll stay close to the exit probably. All right, over here.
Okay. Let's roll a d6 to see. Oh yeah, how about you roll a d6 and we'll see what show appears.
Okay. 4.
For Charlotte the Fire Eater.
Ooh.
So you again see Tyndall, and this time Tyndall steps onto the stage, introducing the next act. A, a, a roaring plume of flame erupts from behind him, knocking off his top hat. A woman sheathed in fire emerges from the backstage in a blaze of heat. She twirls a long flaming staff, forming bright circles in the air, and lets out an eruption of fire from her mouth, before smiling to the audience as Tyndall scrambles for his hat. Treasured guests, are there any souls amongst you who are willing to play with fire? One packet of shadow dust to anyone who can burn Charlotte, the fireproof woman.
Ooh. Cynaris looks at the stage and like he ponders for a moment, seeing as he's amazed by all of this. He raises his hand and says, "I will do it."
And then Tyndall waves his hand around and points it at you and goes, "Ah, that young brave gentleman I saw earlier. Welcome up." Um, and as he invites you onto the stage, he asks you, "Are you able to cast any fire spells of sorts?"
Oh, sadly no. I only have this, and then he shows his mage hand.
You hear some gasps in the audience as some of them go, and you hear some of them like saying things in disgust and typical tieflings and all. And then Tyndall starts waving around. No, hush. We here at the carnival accepts everyone, no matter your looks, appearance, or where you come from. There is no need for any negativity about how someone looks. To do so would be to make similar remarks about the rest of us. And Charlotte, the woman comes up to you and goes, "There's no worries. Here," and she passes you a potion of fire breathing.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you can use a potion of fire breathing. And yeah, you're able to find the stats for one, right?
In the compendium.
Actually, I'm not sure if it's in the compendium. Let's see.
Where would that be? Pre-made items.
I think item SRT would have it. Maybe potion of fire. Oh, that's fire giant strength. Let's try the DAE one.
Okay. There's potion of fire resistance.
I guess just Google it, I guess.
Okay.
The world's biggest compendium.
Potion of fire breathing 5e. Yep.
Okay, so you can make a roll with the potion of fire breathing's damage, and you'll need to do a con save.
Oh. Okay. Does it say what? Does it say anything about the DC?
Yeah, so the DC is effectively the amount of damage you do. So what you'll want to do is roll so high that she's not able to succeed her con save.
Okay.
Which is
roll a 4d6. Yeah.
Yeah. That's essentially out of your control. But if you roll 20 and above, I don't think she can actually reach it.
Maybe 4d6. Okay. 10.
Well, maybe she'll roll 7 and below.
Maybe.
Oh. Oh.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So as you blow fire, as you spew fires out of your mouth, she's engulfed in flames, and then and then as the flames you spew out finally end, you see that she actually does have burn marks on her body, even though but she looks like she's unfazed by it.
Oh,
Ooh.
Um, this is where Tino turns to you and goes, "Congratulations, you actually managed to harm her." He holds out a bag of he holds out a bag for you and says, "Come on, a prize for you. Um, you can roll a d100."
okay. 1d100. 26.
A spyglass that always shows the world's suffering. That always shows the world suffering a terrible storm.
Okay. That's. I think
Sad.
yeah, it's very depressing. But
Yeah.
Daenerys
So when you
says,
look through it around the tent, right, you can see like there's part of the tent that's shaking and quaking as like a strong wind blows against it.
I say thank you as he is mesmerized by this orb thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, and Tina goes, "Thank you for volunteering."
and I bow towards the audience, even though they hate spellcasters.
Yeah, and as you return to your seat, you can see like people visibly just inched away from where you're sitting.
Oh,
Oh, racist.
I do not like this.
Um, is the rest of the show going on, or is that all?
Yeah. There's after this another show starts. Like after so Charlotte takes a bow and um Tyndall and they move away all the setup that was for Charlotte's act. So you can roll a d6, and if we land on 4, you just reroll.
Okay, 5.
Where is the key? Five. Hmm. Where? Why is it not? Okay. Uh, this time as the so as they're taking away the setup and fire and all that, the light dims and a spotlight shines on Tyndall as he sweeps his top hat off his head, and he goes, "Dearest friends, behold the greatest magic tricks you shall ever witness. This is no puckery, disbelievers." He reaches into his hat, pauses for dramatic effect, and then he pulls out a white rabbit by the ears before placing it down and waiting for an applause.
Oh,
It's dead.
Daenerys. Daenerys is the only one clapping.
Yeah. Um, he looks towards you and smiles and gives you like a short a light nod, and then um and then that's when the rabbit suddenly transforms into an adult woman, and the audience
Oh.
gasps with delight and starts clapping. Indistinguishable from an ordinary hare, Alti is a master assassin. Do not be fooled by the floppy ears or fluffy tail. What you behold before you is the mistress of death.
Ooh.
If there's any volunteers from the audience that's willing to come on stage,
Oh, no.
perhaps you'll be able to pick her out from amongst the crowd.
Hmm. Would Cynaris be the type to like? He already participated once. I think he'd want to see someone else try to discern this.
Okay. What you see from is that one or two members of the audience gets onto the stage, and then and it essentially looks like a whole bunch of bunnies are jumping around in a real mess on stage. I am gonna make some rolls.
Yep.
If I could find my foundry, please. Perception checks. Okay. Wait, what's her step? Where? Okay. That's this, and then I need a commoner. And then all that's really gonna show up is just me doing question mark rolls.
Yep.
Nice ASMR.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I forgot to do one more thing, but never mind. I'll do. And then I need to do this again because I forgot to do that. Okay. Oops. No. No one saw that. No one saw that. Yeah. So a moment passes, and they point at a rabbit. They each point at some other rabbit. But nothing else happens. And like Tino goes, nope, that's not the right one. You get another chance. Um, uh, okay. Yeah. So this time the two of them point at different rabbits that appear to be somewhat closer. And again, Tino goes, you're down to one chance. If you're if you don't get this right, then you might as well be dead.
Oh
Oh
man.
no. Oh no. Are they going to die? I think when Cynaris heard that, he's very glad he didn't volunteer.
Oh.
Yeah, and then finally the two of them look desperate. And again they point at different rabbits. And this is where you see a immediate shift in the field as a bunny transforms into a woman right behind the two of them, and she holds a dagger at both their throats.
Oh no.
And then she pulls the blades away and turns to the crowd and bows. And Tino goes, let's give a round of applause to our brave audience members for giving it a shot.
Risking their lives.
Yeah. I applaud very marvelously. And I think Cynaris. Wait, what time is it right now?
Alright? Like physically? Like real
Yeah,
life or
in the game.
in the game not much, as in like I actually haven't been keeping track of time in the game. There are no timed events though.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering since it might be late, Cynaris might want to like go. I'm not sure.
Go where?
I don't know, wherever he lives, wherever that is.
The streets?
An orphanage? If there is one.
Hmm.
It depends though, if it's like pretty late for a kid and might arouse suspicion.
I think while you're here, you don't. So it's time wise. The sky always looks the same, dark and foggy.
Oh, okay.
Uh, you would have to actually do your own time tracking. But also in general, I think it's well understood that the carnival runs on throughout the night.
Okay. I think he's I'm debating whether to see one other show or look at the other attractions outside. I think you'd want to see one other show.
Okay, then
Then he'll leave.
roll a d6.
Okay. A 4.
Roll
Nice.
again.
Yep. 2.
Okay. This is the Hawkeye Brothers. Where is it? I went too far. Blade Brothers. Oh yeah, Blade Brothers. Okay. Um. So again, the stage clears, and then a spotlight shines on Tyndall, standing center stage. As he winks at the audience, tosses his top hat into the air, and from out of the darkness of the stage wings, a dagger flies straight as an arrow, piercing through it and pinning it above the big top entrance. From behind the curtain, two identical men adorned with ornate face paint walk silently onto the stage, dozens of daggers hanging from their belts. Ladies and gentlemen, and others, allow me to welcome our very own Blade Brothers, able to shave your eyebrow off from a mile away in the dark with a dagger. Their accuracy has to be seen to be believed. Do we have a pair of daring volunteers from the audience willing to challenge the masters for a prize?
Sure. I think Linares would give it a go. He
Okay.
raises his hand again.
Just one member of the audience. You know what? I believe we can make an exception for this. Mr. Question Mark. And then
Oh.
and then you see again this man you've seen before, the face smooth as slate. And he comes over and he sort of like bows to you and reaches a hand up. And what's essentially happening is that you can give him an article of your clothing, and then you get to play as two yous for this.
Oh. What clothes do I have? I only have common clothes.
Yeah, so like you can decide what counts as common clothes, I guess. Maybe you have a jacket.
Oh, I give him a sock.
Why is it just a shoe? You gotta take off the sock too.
No, I just
You-
give him a sock. He's Dobby now.
Yeah, he accepts the sock as he touches it and puts it into what is now one of your pockets. And now there stands two Signaris on stage. And you hear some muted claps as people start clapping, and then they realize that no one else is clapping and stops clapping.
Oh. So what do we do here?
It involves the two of you throwing blade weapons at one another, and almost but not quite hitting the target. So yeah, okay. So what happens is that each of you stands. Each pair stands 10 feet apart, and both contestants make an attack roll with DC equal to the distance in feet between the two of you. So
10.
So if you roll if you roll 10 or higher, you miss the target. But if you roll less than 10, you hit your partner.
Are these blades blunted or are these sharpened blades?
And then even if the attack fails, your partner gets a chance to dodge and
Okay. Oh no. I have a feeling I'm gonna hit myself. So how do I make this roll?
hang on, there's more. Every
Okay.
round, uh, and every round, both competitors throw daggers at one another, and if neither is hit, they step back 2 feet and repeat the game. This continues
Oh.
until only one pair is left. So, let's see. I think it's if your moment the moment you are hit by a dagger, uh, the moment you are hit by a dagger, you
You lose.
it the pair is disqualified.
Oh.
And we'll just say for the purposes of not letting you fall unconscious, they only deal 1 damage.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So yeah. You'll need to be making attack rolls against yourself.
Yeah. So how do I make the attack roll? I need a dagger.
Oh yeah, I'll need to give you a dagger.
Okay. What if I just use my small knife instead? That'll
Uh
at least stop.
the I mean the problem is
Mhm.
that the small knife is in your stat block as a
Item.
item, yeah. As a loot trinket.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna drag the dagger over from you. Okay.
I hope I don't kill Mr. Question Mark. Okay. Uh so the first one will be me and the second one will be Mr. Question Mark, I guess.
Hmm.
Attack normal 13.
Yep, the dagger flies right past Mr. Question Mark.
Okay. And for Mr. Question Mark. Hey.
Ooh.
Yeah, Mr. Question Mark throws the dagger and you feel it slide ever so quickly. You hear the whoosh as it flies right past your head, but ever so close to your ears.
Okay. So me and uh Mr. Question Mark take a step back. Was it 2
Yeah,
steps?
2 feet.
Okay.
And then let's see if the where is my gladiator? Okay, I'm just gonna steal the dagger from you.
Okay.
Hello, where's the hello?
What?
Why is it not rolling? You know what?
Oh,
Maybe it's not rolling.
why is it not rolling?
Okay, I suspect it's because it's not on the thing. So let's just pop the gladiator
Yeah.
onto the map, and then I will do this dagger. This maybe this time I'll roll. There we go.
11.
It misses, and then the second one also misses. So the two of them needs to step 2 feet apart, and then it starts again. So you and Mr. Question Mark will throw your daggers.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna die now. Okay, 14. And for Mr. Question Mark, 11.
Okay, so Mr. Question Mark's dagger starts. You can see that it's flying towards you. You can do a dexterity save to avoid getting hit by the dagger.
Okay. 11.
Let me just check what's the equal to or higher than the attack roll. And yeah, so you adjust your position slightly, and the dagger flies past a hair's breadth from your skin.
Hey. Okay. And then we watch as the two gladiators throw as well. Wow, they're good. Oh.
Yeah, this was just an easy throw for them. Both pairs move back another 2 feet apart. So now the
Oh,
DC is 14.
okay. No.
Oh,
Okay,
Sorry, Mr.
roll dexterity save for Mr. Question Mark.
Okay.
ah,
Uh, Mr. Question Mark, you see the mirror of you looking somewhat more confident now that you've gotten 2 successes. But unfortunately, this time the dagger lands in his leg and he goes, "Ow!"
ah.
I'm sorry. Is he gonna take a swing at me now, like with the dagger? Is he
Are you not
gonna
done?
throw it as well? Or
No,
wait,
no.
we're we're
This is the
disqualified.
point. Yeah, this is the point where you're disqualified.
No. Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry, Mr. Question Mark.
but hey, let's just see what the Blade Brothers roll.
Okay.
And maybe they get disqualified too. Who knows?
Nope.
No. Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Oh,
I mean, they're good at it.
yeah.
Yeah. This is what they're good at, unfortunately. So at this point, Mr. Question Mark takes the sock and out of the pocket and passes it back to you. And they sort of like he and when you take your sock back, he takes out a potion of healing from his pocket and just takes a light sip and heals the wound in his leg.
I go to Mr. Question Mark and say, I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, Mr. Question Mark just he shakes his head and gives you a light nod.
And then I go back to my seat, very disappointed because I
Aw.
hurt someone.
Yeah, and then the show goes on with other volunteers coming up and trying their luck against the Blade Brothers.
Okay. Oh, are you gonna roll for that as well?
No.
Okay.
Are you planning to stay? I guess
think-
is the question.
No. I feel like after that, Cynaris wouldn't want to stay.
Yeah. Where is the map?
I feel like the crowd is gonna make side comments like, "This is what happens if you're a spellcaster. You don't know how to throw a dagger."
Yeah, exactly. There is essentially no place for spellcasting or magic of any sorts except besides esoteric means,
Oh,
esoteric usages. People who,
yep.
who are into magic are just weird. The
Yeah.
only acceptable kind of magic is in the Museum of Magical of Complex Arcane Studies.
Hmm. Uh, as Cynaris walks out, he looks at the remaining uh wonders around the carnival. He's very curious about what Fortune's favor is, so he goes towards that.
Okay. The sound of laughter, rolling dice, and the clinking of coins spill out from this tent, intermingled with the sweet melody of bagpipes. Outside the entrance is a horned, goat-legged man dancing by a fire, playing his pipes with jaunty energy. Um, Hang on.
Yep.
Okay, I need you to make a DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna fail.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
You turn to look at him, and you blink, and then you find yourself inside the tent, dice already in hand, with the goat-legged person welcoming you with a friendly smile. He goes, "Well, now the dice are already in your hands. Surely you're itching to play a game."
is this a gamble?
Yeah. Cyrus looks very puzzled and says, "How did I get here? Is this legal for kids?"
Of course, it's very legal. This is essentially you choosing to enter into a contract of a social contract of sorts. So I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure this is allowed.
Uh, how do I play the game then? He says hesitantly.
Okay. In front of you, there actually are two games. There is one that with pixies in flying around in front of it, and then there's another one that looks like it's made of a. Oh wait, there's only one of you. So he sort of gestures you towards the one with pixies, and um the uh and it's a game where there are like many seats um on the table that looks relatively similar. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and what the pixies do is that they cast druid craft to cause the mystery seeds to bloom into colorful flowers. Um,
Ooh.
the aim of the game is to get every flower to bloom of the same color. Um,
Oh.
you can choose to play with three pixies or four, and you bet any amount of silver pieces, and then roll as many six-sided die as there are pixies. Um,
So there are three pixies, you said?
yeah, there are 3 to 4 pixies. You can choose to roll. You can choose either 3 or 4, and then if you choose 3, which I think you only have a choice of choosing 3 since you have. Oh no!
I have two.
You only have 2. So
Yeah.
so okay. So you actually wouldn't be able to afford this using money.
Oh.
Um,
Oh,
okay, but yeah. So essentially, you roll that many number of dice. If the number on the dice are all the same, you win. And the price for 3 pixies is 10 times the amount you bet, plus 1 packet of shadow dust. And the price for 4 pixies is 100 times the amount you bet, and 5 packets of shadow dust.
Ooh. Though, can I bet you said I didn't have enough?
Yeah. So when you take out your coin pouch and you realize that you don't have enough coins, um, uh, where is it? Yeah. So the sector will look at you. I see you can't afford the coin for this. However, I do accept other payments of other kind. Um, I am willing to offer. Uh, I'm willing to offer the the tune to my tones if you are willing to offer something of yours in exchange.
Um, I would offer the twinkle in my toes.
Okay. And as both of you say this and agree to this, you see sort of like an orb rise up from his throat and sort of rests above his bagpipes. Whereas for you, a small glowing orb rises from your feet and sits on the table as well.
Ooh.
Uh, and and yeah, so you can roll uh since this is a high value trade, he'll count it as four. Wait, actually no, it's up to you. Do you want to count it as 3 pixies or 4 pixies?
Hmm. You said the goal was to have all of the dice roll the same number, right?
Yeah,
So 3 would be better
yeah,
because yeah, so 3.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, roll 3d6s.
Okay.
And
1,
that
1, and a 5.
uh well, unfortunately. Okay, wait, hang on.
Ooh, the match. So
Okay,
close.
if the price for okay, you can make a nature check to investigate to investigate the five to see if it's to investigate the seeds to try and get the flowers to line up.
Okay. In nature. 15.
Yeah, that succeeds. You can re-roll that one die and hope you get a
Okay.
one.
Roll 1d6. I got a
Oh,
2. No. So close.
Yeah, so unfortunately, one of the seeds you picked up bloomed into a different color flower, and this is where the satyr smirks and goes, "Well, it looks like I win." The little he sort of waves and that little glowing orb that you offered up goes to him and he puts it in his pocket. Um, what you've lost is you have lost the ability to dance.
oh.
To be fair, I don't think Cynaris was a good dancer anyway.
Yeah, so if Cynaris ever tried to dance, he will always dance out of beat.
Oh, that seems. No, that doesn't seem worse than singing a half tone. Okay,
You can't dance with Assyria though.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
step on my feet. Mm,
What if you just dance to my tune? We both dance off
torture.
to the yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. That's what happened on our wedding.
Ah,
uh, I still compelled to play like because of the wisdom saving throw thing?
No, you're actually not compelled to play at all. It's just that it gets very awkward
Oh,
just with the dice in your hand already. Um, and he
oh,
goes, and since you are so engaging and willing to participate, how about I offer you to this other game? And this one is Wizard's Tower. It's a dice gambling game for two or more players, so he'll be playing against you. And and there's like a little pot. So what he does is he takes both the your the twinkle in your toes as well as his the tune in his tone and puts it
yeah.
into the ante. If you're willing to offer up anything else, you could potentially get all of these back as well as and he takes out a packet of shadow dust and puts it into the end. and NTN, and yeah, as well as a packet of shadow dust.
Ooh. What else can I offer though?
So there's the color in your eyes. There could be perhaps the first the feeling of delight when someone gave you a gift is also an option.
Oh. Your ability to blink.
My ability to blink.
No, you can still blink though.
Or perhaps also the satisfaction after a nice warm meal.
It feels like things that I want to keep. So I say, no thank you. I would rather not risk my entire life on this. And I walk away.
I mean, you could maybe offer something not in the list.
I don't know what else I can offer that doesn't affect my life for the rest of my life if I lose.
Maybe Kismet can give suggestions as well.
Oh.
Or if anyone in chat has ideas.
To never play D&D forever.
No.
No.
That would be the greatest pain.
As Cynaris, but not as... Maybe
What?
Cynaris will never play D&D ever again, but they might still.
No. It's so sad.
Has
I want him
Cynaris
to
ever
enjoy it.
played D&D?
Probably not. I don't think this place. I don't think Ravenloft plays D&D. Unless they count D&D as a fine art that they do. Which I wouldn't think so. Yeah, I think he wouldn't want to risk it anymore. He's already lost his ability to dance.
Oh.
So yeah, I think he would go out of the fortune's favor. Unless he gets more silver. Yeah.
Yeah, and you hear the satyr jeering at you from behind. Yeah, run off. We've got no place for losers without courage. Just go running off with your tail between your legs. Now who's next?
Bruh. The audacity of this satyr. One day Cynaris is gonna go back to Ravenloft. Get back what he's gotten stolen from him. What about in the Lucky Dip? I hope it's not the same gambling thing, like favor, fortune's favor.
Lucky Dip. Okay. The soft glow of a single bulbous green eye emanates from the shadowy recesses of this tent. Slowly emerging into the flickering firelight, a hunched, diminutive creature covered in bony protrusions scuttles towards you. Can you give me a moment to open this up? Well, actually, no, I think it's in the characters. I'm pretty sure I created this character. Where are you? Where are you? Did I not? I did not. Okay, that means it's not in the compendium.
Oh no. Should I go visit something else?
No, give me a moment. First of all, could you give me a deception check?
Oh, deception check?
Yeah.
21.
Oh, that's very good. Honestly, there's no point in this, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you feel like you feel some sort of mental thoughts as tendrils, as bony tendrils, sort of like poke around your head. But you manage to mask it. You manage to mask and conceal your head your mind away from it. And the creature pulls back. Uh, and it goes up to you. It says, "Greetings. I am unknown. Perhaps you'd be interested in taking a chance at your heart's desire. Perhaps you'd be interested in the lucky dip. I can promise you your heart's desires."
Ooh.
Perhaps you have a. Oh, what I have here is a bag of holding that contains all sorts of magic items. All you need to give in exchange is a magic item of any rarity. Or perhaps if you don't have that, you could make a fee bargain instead.
Oh, magic item. Can I give them the thing I got earlier in the big top, the one that constantly shows a storm or something?
Hmm.
The destruction of a thing.
Oh, this is a difficult. This is a difficult question because rules has written that counts as a horror trinket and not a magic item, but
Wow.
it is doing something that a normal item wouldn't do. So,
Yeah.
could you roll a persuasion check against the DM?
Okay. Persuasion.
Let's say the DC is 13.
20.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You can count it as a magic item.
Yes.
Against the DM.
Yay. So I give him the ruinous item that I got that always depicts disasters.
Yeah. And then you okay, let me just search the table.
Okay.
Holding. Oh, okay, wait, hang on. Okay. So since it's a bag of holding, so a bag of holding only works by you reaching into it and thinking of the item you want. So, can you search for? I'm not sure if this will work, but magic item table B.
Magic item table. Okay, 5e. This
Yep.
might work.
Yeah, there's a dungeon masters tools.github.io. It will have a magic item table B there.
Okay. Magic table B. Yep.
So
And I choose.
so you can choose any one of these items, and as long as Cynaris thinks it in his head, it will appear in his hand.
Oh, this is a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
I'm tempted by the alchemy jug.
Oh my
Because I
god.
know what it does. Because I have an artifice different campaign.
I mean, you could take it and you're just thinking, Cynaris is feeling very thirsty at this point from all this talking and knife throwing and.
Oh yeah, he definitely wants something to drink.
Yeah,
right now.
And so from that tiny pouch that he's holding, Cynaris hefts this pretty big alchemy jug out of it, and then the Noctic looks at blinks his iris and then looks at you and goes, "Must be feeling very thirsty," and he takes out like a little cup for you to use.
Oh,
Have this cup, free of charge. Well, I mean, as long as you don't tell as long as you don't tell the organizers or anything.
I certainly won't. And I wink towards him.
Hmm.
How am I
Oh,
gonna bring this with me? It's a
you're just
gigantic
gonna
jug, isn't
like
it?
lug it around with you
Yeah, I'm just gonna hug it in front of me as a
and just
child.
push it, push it around.
Thank you.
And then
I
while you're here, and then he takes out a different bag, and this bag is much better on it, and he goes, perhaps you're willing to do a lucky dip in this other bag I have.
ooh.
Uh,
Hmm.
what you offer in exchange, of course, is a fair bargain instead. I'm sure you've noticed what some of the other uh, what the other people in this carnival have to offer. Things like the color in your eyes, or a happy memory from your childhood. Oh well, you are in your childhood. But I
Your
suppose
shoulderhood.
uh,
Yeah.
uh, a memorable lesson that you've had of the past.
Hmm. I think I'd give him a memory of my childhood. I think one thing Sainaris would remember is that someone trying to be nice to him, like a while ago.
Wait, but
What is
then
it? Collar?
you're telling the story to me,
Yeah.
and I heard that. That means you still remember it?
Not for the sake of that storytelling. Maybe no. I just tell you that I sort of remember it, but not really. Like I know I've given something, but I don't know what it was. And that
Okay.
moment, I think he would be very thankful for what the collar was. It the collar was it?
Yeah, he
I
referred
never
to
saw
himself
that.
as the caller.
Yeah. Uh yeah, he would say that that memory where he gave him the bread, the warm bread.
Yeah, so potentially it could have actually been something else that wasn't a bread, that the one bread. It could have been a very lavish meal. But because Sainaris has given up this memory,
He
he
doesn't remember.
he doesn't remember exactly what the lavish meal was. He just tells Osira that it was a freshly baked loaf of bread.
Oh,
Yeah. Hmm.
And the Gnostic accepts this memory, and you now have a flaw, which is you generally don't you're not very accepting of kindness in most cases.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
And he brings up his premium lucky dip, and um you can take an item from you can tell me what you want from Magic Table F.
Oh,
a
F.
boom one.
Kaboom. Hmm.
A mini kaboom one. Which is basically like a fireworks something.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can look at the table though.
Um. Hmm.
I feel a sense of regret coming, but oh well.
Do my items that I get here pass on to older Sinaris?
That's a good question, and I haven't figured it out also. But it feels
Too bad.
unfair if you don't get them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it feels unfair if you get the panel the flaw that I just told you about, where
and not the item.
yeah,
Hmm. So many. I think is there like a scroll of fireball somewhere? No. Um.
I think some of these are actually better than the Scroll of Fireball.
Yeah, it seems like it. Um. Hmm. What is the javelin of lightning?
I think it's a javelin that when you throw it deals lightning damage.
Oh, rod of the pack keeper. Boots of Winterlands. Deck of illusions. Hmm.
Yeah, the javelin's property is it's basically a bolt of lightning that when you speak the command word and you throw it, it deals lightning damage uh, and it can't be used again until the next dawn.
Oh,
Oh,
by the way, it's
it's
12.
12. Yeah, it's 12.
Yeah, and this is where you're interrupted by the sound of dinner bell as the two of you head down to have dinner at the inn at the end of the road.
Oh,
Ooh.
yay! I'm gonna choose my magic item off screen.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
that's it for today's session. Thanks everyone who dropped by. Thanks Shiny for the raid, and we'll go look for someone to raid.
Yay! I think Tiali is doing a 24-hour stream.
Why do people do this to themselves?
I don't know. Would you ever do one?
If I ever have the energy to if I ever have the energy to possibly do hydrate things hydrate
Yes.
to do a subathon with maybe a community wide D&D game, and I need to plan a community wide D&D game.
Ooh.
Maybe it would be easier if you have a co-DM.
Oh yeah.
So I tried that once with Superstar. Um,
Yeah.
it was a bit of a struggle while DMing because I don't have her exact thoughts in my head, so I don't know what she's thinking. Um,
Oh.
but it was helpful to her in a sense that when we had to do prep, I was able to answer the players' questions.
Oh.
Yeah. And I guess is that she sometimes encounters issues with explaining things to different people. So that's where I was more helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tiali, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go slash raid Tiali.
Shadow Legends.
This is the raid command if you have a sub. And this is the raid command if you don't.
Copied. I think I actually need to go now because mom just came
Lunchtime, right?
home and
Uh,
yep,
okay. Then
it's
I'll
okay.
just hit the raid since we're done. And then okay. Thanks everyone. Bye.